Well, helping us to further unpack this is legal analyst Mr. Melusi Xulu. Melusi, it's great to have you with us as always. Firstly, let's understand what the actual legal grounds for the appealing of this not guilty verdict in the Timothy Omotoso case are, and how likely is that that this appeal will actually yield some fruitful fruit this particular time?
Good afternoon to you, Alicia, and to the viewers at home. What is important about the appeal is that based on Section 319 of the Criminal Procedure Act, there must be mistakes of law that may have been done by the judge in the matter. Maybe the grounds of law where she maybe has made a mistake in law. That is the most important part of the appeal. But I have a concern here, Alicia, about the fact that at the same time, the NPA is also looking into investigating the conduct of the prosecutors who were involved in the case. I believe there was about 5 prosecutors who handled this matter. And now that gives you an idea that it's possible that what the judge said, and when she said she was not happy with even the cross-examination of the accused, Omotoso and the co-accused, because they believe that the cross-examination was about 2 hours of a case with 34 counts from, I believe, from 64. So what does that tell you? It tells you that as much as the NPA has a desire to appeal, they also have an issue with how the team performed. Now, if the team performed badly, that gives you an idea why there was an acquittal in the first place. But at the end of the day, the NPA has read the records of 2,000 pages. They'll be in a better position to know whether they have a strong case to appeal. But I think the state must be careful in not being emotional about the case, and not saying they are, but in not being swayed by the pressure of the society where you have trial by media or trial by social media, where you are doing things to appease to the public. The facts of the law must still stand. And if the prosecutors did bad, they must accept that they did not perform well. If they bring their A team now, they still need to deal with that because they can't bring new evidence. But like I say, they are in a better position because they've read the transcripts.
Very interesting that you mentioned these issues here, Melusi, because the NPA had previously, in the province, had actually previously defended its prosecutorial team there. And Batohi there, I'm sure you saw in the clip preceding our interview, conceding there that lessons by the state certainly need to be learned. And with that in mind then, that the prosecutors were dismal, the NPA would need to now allocate a completely new legal team, I suppose. And while then this is happening, Omotoso's immigration status in the country is another issue handled by a completely different department altogether, that is Home Affairs. So how will these then two processes unravel, you think?
All right. The two processes, the illegal immigration case and this particular case that we're dealing with, the case about the appeal, I believe they are just two different cases. Which are not really related. But you know what comes to mind is Omotoso would have not been able to sort out his status in the country because he was in prison for 8 years. So maybe when he got out, he probably did not have enough time to do it. Not that I'm defending him, but the logic is, the more he's in the country, the more he's kept in the country, the more the NPA can be able to have him close by, where he cannot be in Nigeria, for example. I think maybe that might be a strategy that was done, but I'm assuming. But the cases are not related. What matters is the fact that the NPA must have strong grounds for appeal, and the appeal is based on the records, it's not based on getting new evidence. So maybe they've read the records and they feel that the judge might have erred in issues of law, and they need that to be clarified in a higher court or in a superior court.
And I'm wondering what these strong grounds could be there, Melusi. And then also maybe just in closing as well, then talk to us about how significant it is, the public concern that is surrounding Omotoso's acquittal, and what impact could this have on the credibility of the legal processes in the country. I mean, some criminals have seemingly just figured exactly how to bypass our legal system as well as its loopholes. You look at cases of illegal immigrants and how they are completely aware that they they do have rights, and law cannot simply touch them until a certain time. So interestingly, behavior that they wouldn't even try in their own countries.
Yes, I think how this case has an impact on how the society views the justice system is the fact that, when you are presented with a case, it's important for us to focus on the facts, to focus on the evidence, and to focus on the fact that the state, the prosecutors must not rely on sympathy that, the judge will probably, just because it's a serious case, a conviction will be obtained. The states and the prosecutors, they still need to do their job to their best of their abilities. And even if it's done by different prosecutors, they must be able to have one strategy to get a conviction in a criminal case. I think that is very important. Why am I saying this? If you give me a minute, there was about 5 prosecutors involved in this case. And to a certain extent, there was a complaint about a certain prosecutor and how he was handling the victim. So I think the prosecutors or the NPA must look at themselves and accept, if they end up not even succeeding in the appeal, and accept that maybe they need to improve their performance, they need to improve how they work. And that is good if they are able to accept their mistakes and to work harder. And then the public will be able to get a better service. I think that is what is important. But if they made their mistake, I think they must just accept it, in my view, Alicia.
And we saw with those technical grounds that saw him initially also being released this past week. Of course, this week, Melusi, due to technical grounds there, because, of course, he was supposed to appear at a specific time. And, of course, we understand this time frame was actually not met. Melusi, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your input this afternoon. That is legal analyst there, Mr. Melusi Xulu, on the National Prosecuting Authority here in the country, hinting at a possible Omotoso appeal. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein has dismissed Dr. Nandipha Magudumana's bid to have her deportation from Tanzania in 2023 declared as unlawful. Now, this now paves the way to trial that is set for July. Magudumana is one of the accused in the escape from prison case of convicted murderer as well as serial rapist Thabo Bester. She and her co-accused, who include Thabo Bester, her father, as well as former employees of the G4S-run Mangaung Correctional Center, will face 38 counts ranging from fraud, corruption, money laundering, assisting an inmate to escape, the violation of a corpse, as well as defeating the ends of justice.